Really good micro. Very good micro player.
Absolutely. His opponent in the bottom right-hand side, you know him, you love him. He's the troublemaking Dutch Terran player. His name is Team Liquid's Thermometer.
Thermaleader.
Thermaleader, I like that. I like that. Mark Schlappy.
Mark Schlappy.
God, he's got the best freaking name, man. I don't know how the other people got. I have such a weird name. Like, my first name is weird, which you never want for a first name, because you want your first name to be like understandable, and then my last name is just super boring. So, wow, both these guys going for the double barrack opener. Steadfast. Look at that.
Yeah. Interestingly, that Ziggy has hidden his in the natural, whereas uThermal has elected to just put his in base. But I did notice that uThermal was starting to do this a little bit more. Now, the cool thing about this is that if you are confident in your control, you can still get very aggressive with this. We saw this build come somewhat into popularity even as far back as that was the WCS Finals 2019 Time versus Maru.
Yes.
And even just playing defensively with this, it was quite effective.
This is one of those really scary builds. I feel like TVT can be, it's such a dynamic matchup. It can be a very quick match, right? And that's what I'm concerned about right now with these double Reapers coming on both sides. I'm really worried that one of these players is going to out-micro the other one. I don't know who's going to be because they both have incredible micro, but the one's going to out-micro the other one and somehow just take that. You know when you watch a TVT and it's like, how the hell did he win that fight? And then once you got two Reapers on the map and your opponent has nothing, they just tap out because there's nothing they can do about it. Now, luckily, uThermal's staying back home, so we will be able to defend against Ziggy's Reapers, but this could be a very quick matchup. If not, it might go to an ultra-long game. TVT is so weird, Steadfast.
Yeah, it is, and we do see them both going for the same follow-up there, the command center, the second gas, but Ziggy's are just ever so slightly faster. And Ziggy also electing to build his on the low ground, which is quite interesting. And it's really interesting that neither one of them has really spotted each other's Reapers yet. Like, they're both, Ziggy is sharking around quite aggressively. uThermal is playing quite defensively with his. And, well, this SCV is going to get into the natural expansion. It's going to see the command center. And, well, seeing that Reaper count, that should let him know what is up. Oh, wow, look at this. Third command center from Ziggy. He's playing this like it's TVZ.
Whoa, this is so greedy from Ziggy. These Reapers gonna pass each other like ships in the night. This could be really ugly. What if they got back home to defend? Right now, Ziggy's got one Reaper who goes down instantaneously. Thermy's gonna see the Reapers on his side of the map. He's gonna raise his gateways here. The Reapers, of course, still can get in. There's nothing back home for either player right now. Ziggy's gonna try and rotate into the main base. He will see the natural of Thermy starting up. Thermy's gonna be forced to pull the SCVs though, but Thermy doing the same damage on the other side of the map. This is gonna be disgusting, Steadfast.
Yeah, right now, so many workers going down on both sides, but more going down for Ziggy. And one of his Reapers getting very low on HP. Oh, actually getting a little bit surrounded and will get taken out. And another one. Oh, it's going to get gunned down by the Marines. And I think that might actually be enough for uThermal to just take this game number one. This third command center was way too greedy from Ziggy.
Man, way too greedy. You know, I joked Thermy didn't have anything back home. He did have some Marines popping out. Eventually was able to muster up a bit of a force and use his SCVs as a meat shield to make sure that Marine DPS was working. But you're right, with that third base, Ziggy was just too greedy. Didn't get anything done with it. In 24, 25, 26, 27 SCVs going down. Man, even if uThermal loses all these Reapers, which I'd be surprised if he did, it's still going to be a really rough game. Ziggy's on one SCV. He's on one SCV. GG. That's it. He can't do it.
Yeah.
Thermal grabs game number one. Ha! I told you it might be short there, Steadfast.
Yes, absolutely. And the ironic part is that Ziggy was trying to send it to a late game, or at least a mid game, where he would be in an incredibly strong position. But because he didn't stay back home, he ended up getting really, really just bamboozled there by his own lack of unit production. And I don't think he realized that uThermal had gone for the 2 racks.
You know, I was just thinking that. I think you're probably right. I don't think Ziggy suspected that was a 2 racks opener from uThermal. The fact that he made a third base back home and sent all of his Reapers across the map, those are 2 really bold choices. Like, either one of the choices, I would have raised my eyebrows, which for me is a lot because my eyebrows are 100% of my hair. So raising my eyebrows is a big deal for me. But if he had done any one of those things in isolation, I would have had some grave concerns. But doing both at the same time, we can say it was bold. How's that? Very bold play out of Ziggy in game one.
Yeah, that was bold is a very polite way of putting it. Definitely a super overzealous build. But if it was just against a 1-Rax, I think that move out is actually fine. So I think it was a good move from uThermal to try and mask what he was doing.
Yeah. Man, what a wild game one. The good news is we're already loaded into game number 2 here. uThermal and Ziggy, our first TVT of the day. Steadfast. Who do we got, buddy?
Spawning up in the top right position of the map, it is the Flying Dutchman himself, representing Team Liquid. Give it up for uThermal.
And his opponent at the bottom left-hand side in the red. Known, I think, largely as one of the main staff at Liquipedia. I know he's a big deal over there. It is our Polish Terran player, Ziggy.
Looking, I do like what he did. Conceptually, I think it was cool. I just think it ran into the worst possible thing it could have faced in that base trade 2-Rax. Because I think if he had just stayed defensive with his own Reapers, I think that could have been pretty good for him. Now it looks like both players once again gonna go for this 2-Rax.
Oh my God, Steadfast! These players. What's the opposite of humility? That's these players are really pushing it to the edge here. Both of them opening 2-Rax again. I think Thermy's slightly ahead on those 2-Rax, but it doesn't matter really. It matters where the Reapers interact with each other, and what you decide to do. This is less of a like a StarCraft game and more of a positioning micro test in the arcade. I feel like there's got to be an arcade game that's just you've got 2 Reapers and he's got 2 Reapers. Don't die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
there should be if there isn't.
You play Zerg, right? Steadfast?
I do.
Yeah. So you've never run into a TVT on the ladder before. But I've got to imagine I'm saying, like, oh, this has got to be some crazy arcade game with Reapers. And every Terran in the chat is like, no, this is just TVT, mate. uThermal gets in here, but doesn't do a complete scout. He does a lazy pro gamer scout and misses this second barrack in the background. So I'm not sure if he suspects it's going to be that again because there's no factory on the way, or if he thinks it's going to be a quick expansion. Oh, his SCV gets taken down, and Ziggy's going to drop an expansion on the low ground. How's Thermy going to respond? His own expansion? Looks like he's saving up for it. Yeah. Yeah, I think seeing the timing on that expansion and the lack of a factory may give him at least a little bit of pause. Kind of make him think twice, like, wait a minute, there should be more stuff here. Where's your stuff? Come on, show me the stuff. Like, it's what he tells his drug dealer. Show me the stuff, right? No, I'm just kidding. Nice positioning setting up here. I love this from Ziggy. He's reading this really well. Now, Ziggy has not spotted anything uThermal's done, by the way. He hasn't even gone in for a scout, hasn't left his base, but he's got 3 Reapers out now to just the 2 of uThermal. uThermal trying to kick out 4. Okay, he's going to have 4 or 5 soon. This will be an even fight, and now it's going to come down to a micro battle. Oh my God, uThermal leaving his base the worst possible time, Steadfast. Yes, but it may kind of work. Oh, he's going to turn around quite quickly, and these Reapers are now going to be trapped. So he will get the SCV, but he's going to lose potentially all of these Reapers. Already losing 1 for none of the Reapers of uThermal. And at best, Ziggy gets 1 more SCV. But he is going to lose, all of these Reapers. Only got a single SCV. Oh, God, even another Ziggy. One to a bad rally. Ziggy! Oh, he even gets the grenade bounce, and Thermy's able to pick him off. Oh my God! uThermal losing 2 SCVs, but picking off all 4 Reapers, and now Thermy is going to steam across the map here. What does Ziggy have back home to defend? Well, he has 1 Reaper and another 3rd command center build. This is... Oh boy. Well, I think this game is actually more over than game 1 was, to be honest. I hate to call it early. Some preemptive Fs in the chat, maybe? 7-3 is just way too many Reapers. SCV's pulled off the line for Ziggy again. Dang, Steadfast. We're going to be done by 12 o'clock here if these games keep going at this rate. This is... Oh, nice target fire.